Good evening to one and all present here. I welcome you all for the 5 days national workshop on nuances of creating a successful social media advertisement. I call upon Dr. K. Anusha, Assistant Professor, Department of Business Administration, to introduce our chief guest of the day.
Good evening, everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all for the 5 days national level workshop on nuances of creating successful social media advertisement. I take this opportunity to thank our respected management, respected Dean Dr. R. Revati ma'am, and respected Principal Dr. Anita Rajendran ma'am for supporting us to conduct this workshop. I also extend my warm welcome to the guest speaker, Dr. A. Anuradha, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Business Administration, Guru Nanak College. Welcome, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I call upon Ms. Pratiksha offers BBA to read upon the guest profile of the day.
Happy evening to one and all present here. Dr. A. Anuradha, Associate Professor and Head Department of BBA, Guru Nanak College, Chennai, is specialized in economic and management. She completes a PhD in economics, commerce, interdisciplinary at the University of Madras, Chennai in the year 2012. She has more than 20 years of teaching experience. Also, she has recognition as research supervisor. Under the guidance of MAM, two research scholars are pursuing their research. She is receiving the Best Teacher Award from CMR Institution of Technology, Bangalore. She has been a resource person for various events like workshops and international conferences. And she has presented and published 14 research papers in national and international conferences and journals. Ma'am has participated in various national level seminars, conferences, workshops, and symposiums. Dr. A. Anuradha ma'am has been a member in various editorial boards and committees, and she has also been a life member in various professional bodies. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank
Pratiksha,
you.
for the wonderful introduction. I'm really honored to be here to meet these students or the whomsoever the audience for the workshop, and it really gives me a great feeling that I'm interacting and I am supposed to have this session on the first day. Due to some unavoidable circumstances, I'm not able to have this session on the first day. I'm really sorry for that. We will have the session now. Can
Thank
we
you,
start?
Pratiksha. Thank you, Pratiksha. Ma'am, it's over to you.
Okay. Uh, I think the audience are all the combination of students and other faculty members from other colleges also. Right? A very good evening to all for this session on 5 day organized by Krishnaswamy College for Women. I really thank the management, principal, and the all hierarchies who have made this wonderful FDP program. Thanks a lot. And finally, for my lovely audience to listen this session. Okay. So the subject that is allotted to me for the session is importance of advertising for business success. So when we say the word business success, obviously a business is the one which has the premium of delivering and then getting delivered things in terms of revenue or the profit. So now the question is importance of advertising for a business success. See, the general law is when your product or the service, whichever you are in as a business person, if it is good in quality, there is no need to have any advertisement. The quality will speak, the quality will get the customers, the quality will make your product as a branded one, and it has got its own value. But the thing is, in spite of your quality of product, in spite of your branded product, the advertisement plays a vital role. How and why the advertisement is playing a role? So sometimes what happens is You may be producing the excellent product. Your product may be qualitatively very high. But unless and until if it is not brought to the market, if it is not brought to the minds of the customer, if it is not informed to the customers, right? You have the product, but if it is not informed to the general public or the customers, there is no point in producing the quality product. So obviously, you have to market your product, and for that, you have to have the advertisement. Advertisement is playing a vital role, and it acts as a medium of communication between the buyer and the seller. Whomsoever is the buyer, irrespective of the nature of the product, the medium of it is like a wheel which generates the vehicle to move further or backward based on the effectiveness of the advertisement. So advertisement do play a vital role in spite of your qualitative product. Even though we may say quality speaks for its worthiness, quality will take care of the advertisement part, but still we need in order to reach the mass gathering of the people. So with that introduction, let me move on to the focus of our session today. Now we'll start with the quote stated by Stuart H. Britt. He says, doing business without advertising is like winking at a girl in the dark. You know what you are doing, but nobody else does. That is where your success lies. The one you are making is completely known to you, but completely unknown to the others. When it is unknown to others, you are the pioneer. You are the successful businessman, and you are going to get the competitive advantage in the market. That is where your advertisement is. Now, why advertisement? Why should we advertise our product? For that, we need to have the starting of what is advertisement. Unless until if you don't know what do you mean by what is advertisement, what advertisement exactly does, then you will not appreciate why it is needed. So when we start with the base of what is advertisement, we'll go with the basic definition part, right? So the definition, if you take, it says advertisement is defined as one-way paid communication through a medium in which the sponsor is identified and the message is controlled by the sponsor. Here, who is the sponsor? Who is the receiver? Who is the medium? So obviously, the receiver is the ultimate general public or the so-called customers or consumers, whatever you call it. We can interchangeably use the word customer and consumer, but the sponsor has the complete control over the market, obviously, because he generates the idea, he budget for the advertisement, and he is going to make the advertisement, right? So here the word target, who is, what do you mean by the word target? Target is nothing but our ultimate customers to whom we are going to do the advertisement part. So now we'll move on to little one step ahead from definition. So here we started with the first aspect of what is advertisement, right? Now we are moving to next step called effective advertisement. So this is where the business success lies. So we know what is advertisement. Of course, we need to have the sponsor. There should be a medium and there should be a target. Now the question is effective advertising. What do you mean by the word effective advertising? Right? Effective picture, effective. The effect, the our adverb has got a very good meaning, right? When you say the word effective advertisement, it has to reach to the customer the way in which the sponsor wants to be, right? Sponsor is the person who is going to introduce the product into the market. So when he makes an advertisement, he should feel whatever he wants to say, he should communicate to the customer. Otherwise, the communication is halfway communication or incomplete. The advertisement may not be effective one at all. To have the effective advertisement, we have these four elements. What are those four elements? You can start with any aspect. It is like a circle, right? You can start with the creative idea. That creative idea you need to execute. When you execute, you need to create the strategy. And when the strategy is ready, You are going to use the media, thereby your advertisement is going to be effective. The other way around, you can start with the media. Use the media, create your idea using the media, execute the media strategy, then go to the strategy. You can have effective advertisement. Or you can start with the other particular point called creative idea. You can start with the creative idea, go for execution, have a strategy, use media, or you execute without any creative idea. You execute your what is that you want to communicate, create a strategy. So it is like a circular flow, right? Whichever the point you start, you will end up with the circle, then only it becomes the effective. So now we need to understand what is advertisement and how the effective advertisement is different. So when you say the word what is advertisement, it's simply communicating. It communicates. The sponsor is using the media and he communicates either print media or audio media or video media or banner, whatever. We have so many advertising vehicles with which you are going to communicate. But when you say the word effective, it has got a systematic way of implementing things. The systematic way of implementing, when you say you need to have the idea, you need to have the strategy, there should be a proper planning, there should be a proper execution, then you have to choose the good media. So when we say the word media, you have audio media, you have visual media, and now modern day everybody knows that we also have social media, right? So we'll come back that what is social media and how it is going to affect the business. So now look at the elements that compose the advertising, right? So there are different elements which compose the advertising aspect. Starting with, we know it is a paid communication. What do you mean by paid communication? It comes under commercials. When we say the word commercials, every ad that you make that is going to fetch you your money in the form of a reward called profit, that will be through increase in sales, right? So obviously, what for we are making advertisement? One is, of course, we are going to make the customer that I am so and so is sending so and so product. That's an awareness. But next to the awareness, it has to influence the customers indirectly or directly to buy the product. So when you say the word they are influencing, then obviously it will have the sales effect. When it has the sales effect, it has the profit. And remember, when we say the word paid communication, it comes under complete commercials. When we say the word non-paid communication, of course, there are non-paid communication advertisement which is meant for creating awareness and thereby only to improve the welfare of the society. Obviously, non-paid communication advertisements are by the government where government has the target of informing to the customers, thereby increasing the welfare. So, for example, now when we say the word uh, non-commercial by the government. So, for example, now recently we are all facing the pandemic situation. Right? During pandemic, many in the initial stage, we may not be knowing what is this virus about. We don't know how to protect ourselves from the virus. We don't know what kind of protection we need to follow. So everything was adopted by the government through effective social media. That they used to have whenever you make a call, you will get the advertisement stating that wear your mask, wash your hands, keep the social distancing. Right? This is called an advertisement, a social media advertisement, which is unpaid. It's not paid, it's unpaid. It is done by the government because it has to reach to the poorer sections of the people or to the general public in order to know the importance of what is happening in the system. The next one is, as we said, non-personal communication, of course, by the uh, government or by any general public or GNOs who is the information or the ad is meant for creating the awareness, creating the social responsibility. So most of the non-personal communication will come under the category of social responsibilities. And Advertising has an identified sponsor. Obviously, there will be a sponsor because the person who is going to sell the product, or the person who is going to increase the sales, or the person who wants to introduce the product has become the sponsor, or the he is the identified sponsor without which it is not possible. And advertising is a marketing tool. What do you mean by the word marketing tool? When we say the word marketing, it is very broad category. Right? Marketing involves selling the product. Marketing involves understanding the product. Marketing involves taking the customers to the market. Marketing involves market research. So it is a very broad spectrum. In that, advertising is a tool. What do you mean by the tool? It's a vehicle with which we are communicating. Right? So when you say the word marketing, it is how best you are going to sell your product using the tool called advertising. Of course, it has three main intentions. What are the three main intentions? Number one, making awareness about the product to the customers, then persuading function. What do you mean by persuading? Persuading means how it is going to influence the customer or the audience to understand and buy the product. So it has got three functions: influencing, persuading, and creating awareness. And it is a creative process. Why we are using the word creative product process? Starting from manufacturing the product, finishing the product, packing the product, and then you moving the product from manufacturing to the market, and finally it has to reach to the ultimate end user or the customer. So throughout the process, it has to have the creative role. Unless and until if there is no creative process, the cycle or the phase may get disturbed in one place. Either the product might have produced and it will be stopped at the packing itself, or the product might have packed properly and it might have reached only in the storage. It will not have any impact on mm, coming to the market. So from starting till the end user, it has a different phase, and every phase has to have the process of creativeness, because otherwise it may get stuck in one or the other place. So you need to have the planning. That is why the next element comes as requires planning. Why we are using the word planning? Because the advertisement, when you say whether it is the media or audio or print or visual, whatever it may be, it has you need to spend a lot of money, and it has to reach to the people, and you have to plan properly. Otherwise, any work without planning will go waste. If work is done without planning, it is a failure. You are determined to face the failure. If you plan, but if you don't work, there is nothing loss in it, right? You have done something, but it will not have any cost impact effect. But any work without planning, it will have its own multi-dimensional impact. And it also needs a careful preparation. What is that you are preparing? When you say the word advertising, the preparation involves starting from idea generation, then framing the budget, and then the preparation also involves content of the advertisement. Then, after deciding the content through which media, that is media selection, and then from the media selection, which mode or which vehicle we are going to advertise. So, it has a careful preparation at every point of time. And the last one is must be placed on a right platform. Obviously, any work you do, if you don't place it in the right platform, it will be like a very good policy in a wrong time. Right? Your policy may be very good, your decision may be very good, your idea may be very eye catching, but if it is not launched or if it is not placed in the right time, everything will go in vain. So placing in a proper time, proper platform. What do you mean by platform? Which media selection? Right? That plays a very, very important role. So put together, we can call it as advertising involves with these various elements. Now we'll move on to the next aspect. Numerous studies have shown that calendars and notepads are the most effective promotional giveaways. The reason for this is that they are used every day, meaning that people are consistently being reminded of your brand. Positive results in terms of brand recognition can also be achieved by classic pen giveaway. So these are the things which is reminding us that advertisement has to be reminded to the customer as and when. Now the question is, what is the most effective tool today? When we talk about the modern day business, the effective tool, right? So when we say the word effective tool, obviously this is social media marketing. I hope everybody will accept my say, because now we are in the we are in the state of web world, right? In fact, the education learning process has moved to web screen, or the world is running under web screen, right? Everything through internet, everything through system. The curriculum of teaching itself has got the transformation from blackboard teaching to online teaching, where we are using most of our systems using the technology. In that, website plays a predominant role. So when we talk about the advertisement, which is coming in the social media, the use of social media platform to connect with your audience, to build your brand, increase sales, and drive website tariff. See, look at how the social media works, right? It not only connects your audience sitting in your room, and it connects the mass media of people, but also build your product brand. Ultimately, it increases the sales and drives the website tariff. There are lot of people yearning sitting in one place using the social media, and today it is one of the biggest platform with which the entire marketing activity is going on. So be it as a product or a service or a consultancy, right? We are facing the situation of buying a product, or it may be a consumable goods, or it may be a luxury product, or it may be a fancy good. We are we are making window shopping, we are making online shopping, and entire marketing activity has come to the white screen, under the white screen called website or web. So the future, I don't think it will come back to the old pattern of print or newspaper or magazine, even though it has got its own weightage. But the modern day has moving towards the online platform. So there, the social media playing a very, very important role. I don't think there is a much explanation for what do you mean by social media, because you can see even a 10-year or 5-year small child is in a position to operate their mobile phone. The child is in a position to see the Facebook. It goes to the Instagram. The child knows how to open the YouTube, how to make things. It's really surprising. Maybe the senior citizen like us may find it difficult to be with the modern technology, but social media is so effective. The children are very, very accustomed to the technology. In fact, the survey says Indian people, India has got the highest number of using social media, and it is really topping the list next to China. I don't think where the phase will go on end if we continue at this speed, right? So there are awareness that children are exposed to more of this technology, which has got a side effect and their health getting affected. That much level we are using the social media. So obviously we need to take care of the social media aspect. Now, having understood how can advertising help the business, so we have uh, focused on aspects like how the effective advertisement has got a role to play and what are the various elements, and in that we also had the discussion on what I should say, the social media. Now we'll come back to the today's session on how it is going to help the business. So when you say the word business, right, it may be anything, right, irrespective of the nature of the business. You may be running a restaurant, or you may be a consultancy person, or you may be a agriculture person where you are producing and manufacturing the product, or you may be involving in export or import, whatever it may be. It may be a small scale business or medium scale, irrespective of the nature. Your advertisement is going to play, it is going to determine your business success. Advertising can increase sales by telling potential and current customers. See, please make the difference between the potential and current customer. What do you mean by the potential? Anyone? Anyone has the idea? Can you make the difference between potential and current customer, or can we call all the current customers or potential customers? Can anyone? What may be the difference? Anyone from the audience? Anyone? Or audience are in the track? Anyone? Okay, fine. So the special offers and the improvements which comes as a part of new product launch. Apart from reminding current customers about your business, advertising can also help to create or develop a distinctive brand for your business. See, the brand loyalty or brand awareness or brand name is possible only through effective advertisement. No doubt your products are up to the mark at the international level. No doubt your products are qualitative. No doubt your products are at a cheaper rate or at a affordable rate. But unless if you don't make the effective advertisement, you cannot, or it is very difficult for you to have a distinctive brand for your business. For everything, it's see, if you take the day-to-day example, right? Even a small primary school, they wants to they want to start a small primary school or a baby course. There is a advertisement you can see in the newspaper. There may be a small feedback form, or there may be a small slip which shows that these are all the uh, schools available, and these are all the specialization, these are the features the school has got, these are the benefit that the children or your ward may enjoy. So it involves. So now the situation is like that, where whatever you do, how much ever you do, and whatever things you want to do, you need to advertise, you need to market yourself. You may be from science side, or you may be a doctor, or you may be a tailor, or you may be a restaurant running person, but you need to market yourself, otherwise surviving in the market is a question mark. Then the purpose of advertising. Why the advertising is needed? What may be the purpose? It has a three primary objectives, which I said long back, right? How it is informing to the customers about what they want to sell, and how it is persuade. What do you mean by persuade? Persuading means influencing, triggering the customers to buy the product and to remind. Most important function. What do you mean by reminding? See, nowadays, it is your job as a businessman, your job is not getting stopped with selling your product. Once you sell the product, after that, there is a big process involved, right? You need to attend the customers, you need to clarify their complaints, you need to maintain the customer relationship. Otherwise, the potential customer will go to your competitors, because the reason is today the world is full of choice. Earlier in good olden days, if you take earlier in good olden days, if you take the advertisements are used mainly for increasing the sales, selling the product. Only for that, the advertisements were used. But now, the advertisements are used not only for selling the product, but also for retaining the customers. Because there is competition, like you, there are thousand people selling equally, competing each other, and there is a tough survival to the fitness. In that situation, you need to increase your not only your sales, but also you need to retain the customer. That becomes a very, very important. So informative advertising creates awareness of brands, products, services, and ideas. It announces new products and programs and can educate people about the attributes and benefits of new or established products. Okay, so when you say advertising in business, marketing tactic involving paying for space to promote a product or service or cost. The actual promotional messages are called advertisement or ads for a shop. The goal of advertising is to reach people most likely to be willing to pay for a company's products or services and entice them to buy. So now, having been explained, what are the how the advertisement is playing a role, and how it is uh, important important for the. Uh, so now we will move on to the aspect on top advertising problems today. So what exactly the problems of advertisement today? Right? So when we say the word problems of advertising today, it starts with the budget limit, compelling content, choosing the right method, measuring the effectiveness, rising through the competition. So when we say the word budget limits, unless you are a multinational company or a global brand, almost every business out of their goes by on a limited budget, especially for advertising. Why we are talking about the budget at the very first point itself? Because whatever maybe your type of ad or whichever the media you choose, but please remember one thing: we cannot assure or we cannot come to a conclusion that every advertisement will result in increase in sales and increase in profit. It is not, because as a customer we know there are some people, they used to see the advertisement, they used to appreciate the advertisement, and they will feel, yeah, the advertisement is so superb, very effective, very eye catching, the contents are excellent, everything. But ultimately, when the question of buying the product, they may say, no, I don't want to buy now. They will enjoy the advertisement, they will appreciate the advertisement, they'll adore the advertisement, but it will not result in increasing the sales or increasing the profit. So here, definitely, when the advertisement is not giving you the expected sales or the profit, obviously it will be a cost for the business people which has no recovery. It will be like a sunk cost. You might have studied in the different types of cost what is sunk cost. Sunk cost is one which will not give any return. So in that case, you cannot keep quiet without spending the money for advertisement. At the same time, if you spend a lot of money, if the advertisement is not resulted in the expected sales, ultimately it will result in loss. In the long run, the company may face the loss. So in order to avoid the long run cost or in order to avoid the loss, you always limit the budget and you will spend money exactly to the point what is needed and how much it is needed. If you spend more than that, we may not have be in a point. The ROI is very less to a nutshell. Then the second problem is compelling content. What do you mean by content? Whether it is media or a print advertisement or magazine or a banner or a billboard or whatever. The content should be very eye catching and it should reach to the minds of the customer immediately. See, the buying the product or not, it is in the hands of the customer. It is their choice. But once your product is entered into the minds of the customer, they will recall your product with the brand name and to to retain the brand name, to capture the market. The advertisement content plays a very important role. Based on the content, effectively it will go into the minds of the customer. So, for example, you look at the example of children's products, right? So, be it as toys or any, say, video game product, whatever it may be, children's has a very good influencing nature to buy the product. Why? Because they may not be knowledgeable, or I cannot use the word knowledgeable. They may not be um, mm, that much enough to understand the technology. But based on the content, there are certain advertisements which will go into their mind very strongly. So once it sets into their mind, they will recall the brand or the product through that content, and that will result in they will definitely influence their parents to buy the product. It will go to the mind. See, and see for the content, I usually the long back. If you see the product like evergreen product like Horlicks and uh, hammam soap, these are all the very old product. Even today, it is there in the market, but based on the content, people used to remember till today. The moment they hear that song or the melody, they will immediately identify this is the product. This is how the content reached in their mind. Then choosing the right method. What do you mean by the word method here? How it's the right method? So in the sense, there are you should know the difference between the media and the media vehicle. So when you choose a proper media vehicle with which you can enter into the market, then your business will become, I should say, 70 to 80% of the business is success because you have chosen the right method at the right time to reach. Then measuring the effectiveness. When we talk about measuring the effectiveness, it's a very big area. We have a different methods with which we are measuring the effectiveness of advertisement. There are different tools and the modern techniques are available to measure the effectiveness of advertisement. For audio, we have the method measures to measure the effectiveness. For video, we have the measures. That's a different area. Maybe little very deep at this session, but you can measure the effectiveness. The measurement is not only sales or the profit. The effectiveness can be how effectively the customers are in a position to recall the advertisement. Based on the recalling capacity, you can measure the effectiveness of advertisement. See, there may be one advertisement which may be exposed for, say, 1 to 1.5 minutes in the media. Then, how effectively it reaches to the mass, and how much quickly or how many times the customers are in a position to recall. When the recalling capacity is very high, then you can say that the advertisement is very effective. Then the last one is rising through competition. What do you mean by rising through competition? Now the today's business is full of competition. Right? So whatever the step you make, when you move one step, your competitors are ready to move 9 steps, and your your competitors' behavior is based on your behavior, and your behavior is based on the because it's strong interconnection, and uh, competition is to the core, right? So in that situation, you need to rise according to the competition, right? You cannot compromise on that. If you compromise, you may lose the customers, you may lose the market in a fraction of time. So these are the top advertising problems with which the modern day advertisements are running. Then I can say the continuation of problems, the challenges facing today's advertising company. Right? So, as I said, it's the sponsor who is using the media, sponsoring. Sponsor is doing the work of advertising, right? So, when you say the word sponsor, there are advertising company which takes care of the complete working of the advertising, right? So when you say advertising company, it involves stock turnover, then the role of print in advertising, evaluating the effectiveness of content and brand marketing, and effectively using social media to sell services to the clients. So more or less same in a different form. When we say the word stock turnover, so the recent recession has left large impact on the stock of advertising agencies. Right? People are not ready to come because there is a huge loss in terms of what I should say. Uh, the entire economy has came to the stagnant, right? Which has resulted in complete recession. So now, with this, I wanted to show a small video if management permits, if organizer permits, I want to show. Here it is. This is the 3 to 4 minutes video, which says using a particular one song, how effectively the leadership quality is uh, explained or leadership quality is revealed to the people, right? So if you look at this ad, it may be for 3 minutes, but this 3 minutes video song it gives you, say for example, more than 12 to 15 leadership qualities. He has covered so nicely. If you look at the what I should say, the media, the advertising, or the song, or the content, or the editing part, and how effectively the message is explained to the general public, right? So please, I want all the audience to have a look on this video, and I just want your feedback. So after seeing the video, you just tell me what are the things you have understood in that 3 minutes video. Then I'll tell you how effective the advertisement is. If the management and organizer permits, I would like to share this video. Ma'am, can I? Can I, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I show this because, uh, so that audience can have a look and then they can come to the conclusion. Uh, I want the feedback in the sense, what is that you understood 3 minutes video, right? So I hope you all enjoyed the video. Can anyone? Can anyone? What is that you understood from that video? This is the 4.5 minutes ad or a song through which he has communicated various types of leadership skills. So when you see the content, when you see the information from this video, it will be in your mind till you want to forget, right? It will be in your mind. It will set up precedent in your mind. What kind of leadership qualities he said? Can anyone? Anyone from the audience? Anyone can interact? I hope all are in track. Session is still up to 5 o'clock. I think there. Anyone? Okay, fine. Uh, so,
Girls, kindly
yes.
unmute and speak, ma. Unmute and speak, girls.
Ma'am, this is in YouTube. No, ma'am, we can't.
Okay, okay, fine, fine. Okay, ma'am. Okay, fine. So, this effective advertisement gives around 13 different leadership skills, how a leader should be, how the leader and the manager is different, and what is the how he has to be very careful with the enemies, and what kind of quality to identify whether he's a friend or your enemy, how the destiny is in your hand and what kind of destiny is not in your hand. So everything around, I told you around 15, you can see, you can listen carefully and you can point it out. Around 15 leadership qualities have been wonderfully explained through this 4 minutes video. So this is how, when we say the in the business, the advertisement content or editing part or delivery part, or how it is going to influence the minds of the customer, involves everything, involves proper planning and execution, right? So we have come to the last aspect of our session. So the modern day skills for the new age, the new normal, right? Where to have a successful business, no doubt advertisement plays a vital role, and that advertisement should have a critical thinking. It should be technical savvy, tech savvy, and it should communicate effectively. There should be an emotional intelligent aspect, which we saw in the video just now. And look at the creativity and innovation, how creatively it has done. Then resilient leadership and agile leaderships are needed for the effective communication and for the effective advertisement. And with that, I am just concluding my session. If you have any questions, I'm very happy to answer. Uh, Otherwise, you can pour the questions in the chat box. Someone, if they are in a position to say, I'll be in a position to answer. Any other questions? Anyone wants to interact? Please.
Participants, if you have any questions, kindly post it in the chat box. Girls, if you have any questions, post it in the chat box.
So, uh, okay, I can also give. I can also have a communication. I'll give my phone number and other things. If anyone interested, they can talk to me. They can have their chat with me. With this, I am concluding the session. Now it is over to the organizer to conclude the session.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for spending your valuable time with us. Now I call upon Dr. Nafisa, Assistant Professor, Department of Administration, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, is it
Okay.
audible?
Yes,
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 I'm
ma'am.
hearing your voice.
Yeah, okay, ma'am. Yeah, very good evening to everyone. It gives me an immense pleasure to to deliver the vote of thanks for this event to all the dignitaries assembled here. I would like to thank our chief guest, Dr. A. Anuradha ma'am, who honored this event with her inspirational thoughts. The keynotes you shared on the importance of advertising, web screening, was really inspirational and motivating. This showed a path to all our young buds who are going to be the future entrepreneurs. Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable message. I would
Thank you
like to
very
thank
much.
our management, our beloved principal, Dr. Anita Rajendran ma'am, our dean, Dr. Revati ma'am, our HOD, Dr. Deepa ma'am, for their continuous support. I would also thank our staff members, students, participants, volunteers, and last but not the least, but our beloved audience for making this webinar a grand success. Once again, I thank one and all present here. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Uh, Thank you very much, Nafisa. It's really nice to hear, and I thank the management, Principal Dr. Anita ma'am, and HOD Dr. Deepa. Really, I created a lot of problem to Deepa madam because of my sudden uncertainty. I'm not able to make it in the first session. Madam took. Really, she supported and made the session today. Thank you very much, ma'am. And I thank one and all for the good opportunity to interact with you people in this esteemed institution. Thanks. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anu ma'am, this is an informal thanks, vote of thanks from my end.
Oh,
Actually, the session was so nice, and we thank you a lot for sharing your expertise and time with us, ma'am. This is a very impactful presentation. Thank you so much from our
okay.
end, ma'am. Yeah,
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for the
yeah,
wonderful opportunity, ma'am. Thank you.
yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Me too.